Ultimately, it's network effect that will determine the long-term value of any blockchain. We see too often blockchains moving fast and shipping product to market to gain first mover advantage. They believe that it's this and only this approach that gains and retains users. Sure, you can rush to market and initially capture a wide network of users, but what happens when those users are consistently subjected to enormous gas fees on failed or successful transactions? Its users are exposed to countless hacks with millions of dollars lost. Its users experience significant downtime when the chain literally stops functioning. Or those same users are effectively rug pulled by the VCs that spent more time luring them in with relentless marketing and misinformation, rather than focusing on the correctness of the tech. Simply put, they vote with their wallet and move elsewhere. Network effect doesn't consider who is first to market, it only cares for who is best to market. The very foundation of Cardano is built on this principle. Despite what its critics would like to believe, Cardano is now primed to become a network effect magnet, and we're about to witness the strength of its pull. Welcome back for today's instalment of Cardano Insights, delivering a fast-paced, bite-sized roundup of the all-important Cardano news and ecosystem content from the past 24 hours. Join me as I explore exactly what's been happening at the very pulse of Cardano. So let's get straight into it. First up, into something I came across a few days ago, which is really interesting from a governance and more specifically voting perspective. You may have heard many discussions about on-chain voting, where votes can be cast and stored on-chain for any type of poll, delivering transparency of the voting process. Well, easy on-chain voting is now available to the Cardano community in the form of Voteaire. Voteaire is an easy-to-use platform that allows anyone to create an on-chain vote in the Cardano ecosystem. All proposals and votes are stored publicly on-chain, and the focus of the platform is on usability, to allow all users to participate in voting regardless of their technical background. This solution will enable users to provide their community members with a way to vote on what matters to them. This represents many use cases. For example, NFT project owners could create a vote solely for its token holders. Stake pool operators could create a vote for their delegators, and ADA holders can create a vote for any other ADA holder to have their say on specific product or community matters. I could, for example, submit a poll about this YouTube channel and ask you, the viewers, what you want to see more of. This would ensure that only ADA holders could actually vote on the outcome of the poll. Considering it's a Cardano-focused YouTube channel, it makes sense that Cardano holders should have the ultimate say. Voteaire is currently available in the testnet environment, so if you go to testnet.voteaire.io and connect your Eternal, Nami or Gerrit wallet, you can try it out for yourself. In order to interact, you'll need to use a wallet that is set to testnet and is already staked to a stake pool. After connecting your wallet, you can either view ballots of polls already submitted, or vote on a ballot and see the results of the poll in real time. In addition, Voteaire has made it really easy for anyone to submit a poll. You can either submit a simple ballot, and that would allow anyone to vote on, submit a delegated ballot using a stake pool ID, specifically for stake pool operators and its delegators, or submit a ballot using a specific policy ID. This would be ideal for NFT projects or projects with their own native tokens that want to truly give the power of voting solely to their holders. Submitting the ballot is extremely easy, filling out one short form where you can submit and sign the transaction. Submitting polls and voting is free and only requires the minimal ADA fees when signing the transaction. What's more exciting, whilst it's at the testnet stage at the moment, I believe the project is going live to mainnet within the next 5 days, so at the next epoch, bringing on-chain voting to the Cardano blockchain. This is a massive step forward for making on-chain voting accessible for everyone, and another great example of how the Cardano community and the builders within it keep delivering more and more use and utility to the blockchain as the weeks go by. The testnet and Voteaire website is linked in the description below, so be sure to go check it out. Recently we covered Charles announcing a significant development regarding input endorsers, and he promised more at Consensus on this topic. As you may be aware, input endorsers will enable Cardano to achieve high throughput and fast settlement at the same time. We got this explainer video from IOHK where Agalos, the chief scientist at IOG, shared some of the advances in their research relating to scaling the Ouroboros protocol. He outlines exactly how they are to achieve high throughput without losing decentralization. In the video, he announced the first innovation. The input endorser concept allows segments of mempools to be released in the network before they get considered to enter the main chain block. This means block producers will free space on the mempools, and they get more room to pull in transactions, while the mempools are floating in the form of input blocks. Using Mithril certificates, the input blocks will be transformed into a verified batch of transactions, which will be included in the main chain only by reference. The final ledger will be determined by the transactions stored in the input blocks that have been already pre-verified. With this mechanism in place, the longest chain mechanism is decoupled from the heavy work of transaction carrying and processing. This enables high throughput to be achieved by filling the idling network and in turn maximising the throughput of the Ouroboros blockchain to its limits. For the full explainer video, I've linked it in the description along with a very helpful thread on input endorsers explained. Recently I noticed IOHK really starting to ramp up the information they're publishing around the tech, design and core infrastructure of the protocol. Whilst this info has always been readily available for those who seek to find it, it's hit my radar that efforts in this respect are now appealing to a wider audience. In a series of blog posts and Twitter threads, IOHK are definitely making a concerted effort to showcase the groundbreaking technology behind Cardano and key elements of its infrastructure. If you go to IOHK.io, in the blog section you can find articles on Cardano's foundational research, which takes a closer look at the research behind Cardano, implementations of Ouroboros Explained, which details what it does and how the proof-of-stake consensus protocol is evolving, and as we previously discussed on this channel, the new users onboarding guide at Essential Cardano, which covers everything from getting initially set up in using the Cardano blockchain, staking, DeFi, digital identity, Project Catalyst and much more. It's pretty clear that the focus has now turned to adoption as we're on the verge of large scalability, throughput and speed optimizations. Finally, for those tracking every move at the consensus event, you'll already be aware of this, but for everyone else, Charles will be speaking at 4:30 PM CDT on the topics of projects in Africa building on the Cardano blockchain. It's only a short segment, but I don't think there's a better way to showcase one of the most important aspects of Cardano's mission than to highlight the use cases or participation beyond the United States and Europe. Cardano's efforts in Africa and the fact that many African businesses are choosing to build on the Cardano blockchain is going to end up being one of its greatest strengths. Network effect in the case of Cardano isn't going to be solely reliant on attracting users from existing marketplaces, but users globally from emerging countries. This promises to be a really interesting segment, so be sure to tune in. So that's it for another installment of Cardano Insights. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and once again, if you did, please be sure to comment, like, share and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back soon with your daily roundup, and until then, thanks for watching, have a great weekend, and as always, keep it Cardano.